Hey guys, welcome back. So today we'll be converting repeating decimals into fractions. So let's say that you do have a repeating decimal and there's only one digit that is being repeated, and you're going to set up an equation for that. If there's only one digit that's being repeated, you're going to multiply both sides of your equation by the number 10. If there are two digits that are being repeated, you're going to multiply both sides of your equation by 100. If there are three digits being repeated, you're going to multiply both sides of your equation by 1000. And then if there are four digits that are being repeated, you're going to multiply both sides of your equation by 10,000. So let's say we had the decimal 0.5 and my 5 is being repeated. So 0.5 repeating. So first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to let x equal 0.5 repeating. And notice here, since I only have one digit that's being repeated, I'm going to multiply both sides of this equation here. I'm going to multiply both sides by the number 10. And the point of this is we're setting up an equation so that we can find our fraction. So I'm going to multiply this side by 10, and then I'm going to multiply this side by 10. So let's solve. We have 10x, and then we have 0.555 repeating times 10. This is going to be 5.5 repeating. Next, I'm going to rewrite my equation so that I can bring my 10x on top and then my x at the bottom. So these are the two equations here that we're going to be using. So I'm going to write 10x equals 5.5 repeating. And then I have my x here. X equals 0.5555 repeating. Now that I have my equation lined up, I'm going to go ahead and subtract. So we have 10x minus x. This is going to equal 9x. And then this is just going to equal 5 because all the 5's here are going to cancel out. Now I'm going to divide. So I'm going to divide both sides by 9. Since these 9's cancel out here, x is going to equal 5/9. And since I cannot simplify any further, your final answer here is going to be 5/9. Now let's go ahead and look at the shortcut way. So if you have one digit that's being repeated, your fraction is going to be a number over 9. So that means you're going to get 9 in your denominator. If you have two digits that's being repeated, you're going to have a number, and that's going to be over 99. Three digits repeating, you're going to have a number, and that's going to be over 999. And then if you have four digits that's being repeated, you're going to have your number and your numerator, and then that's going to be over 9,999. So let's look at our shortcut for the same exact example. So let's say we have 0.5 repeating. I only have one digit that's being repeated, and that's just the number 5. So I know my denominator, I'm just going to get a 9 in my denominator, just like we had here. And the number that's being repeated is just a 5. So I'm just going to write 5/9, and this is my final answer. So let's try 0.3 repeating. So I'm going to let x equal 0.3333 repeating. Since I only have one digit that's being repeated, I'm going to multiply my equation, both sides of my equation, by the number 10. So 10 here and 10 here. 10 times x, this is going to be 10x, equals 0.333 repeating times 10. This is going to be 3.333 repeating. Notice these are the two equations here that we are going to be using. However, before I do anything, I'm going to rewrite my equation so that my 10x is on top. So I'm going to do 10x equals our repeating 3. And then we have our x here at the bottom. I'm going to go ahead and subtract. So 10 minus x, this is going to be 9x. And then this is just going to be 3 because these 3's are going to cancel out. 9x equals 3. I'm going to divide both sides by 9. So you're going to get x equals 3/9. However, I can simplify my 3/9 because the number 3 goes into both the 3 and the 9. So if we have x equals 3 over 9 here, divide top and bottom by 3, your numerator is going to be 1, and then your denominator is going to be 3. So your final answer is 1 over 3. Now let's say you did the shortcut. So we have one number that's being repeated, which is my 3. So I'm just going to put that 3 over 9. So this is just going to be 3 over 9. And I can go ahead and simplify because the number 3 goes into both. So your numerator is going to get 1, and then your denominator is just going to be 3. So your final answer here as well, if you do the shortcut, is still going to be 1 over 3. So let's say we had 0.15 repeating. So this equals 0.1515, and it goes all the way down. So now I'm going to let x equals my 0.1515 repeating. Since I have two numbers that are being repeated, I'm going to multiply my equation by 100. So now you're going to get 100x equals 15.1515 repeating. All right, so these are the two equations here that we will be using. So I'm going to go ahead and rewrite it. So I'm going to put my 100x on top equals 15.1515 repeating. And then at the bottom, I'm going to put my x equals 0.1515 repeating. Now let's go ahead and subtract 100 minus 1x. This is going to be 99x. And then here on this side, notice your 15s here are going to cancel out. So you're just left with 15 here on the right side. Now I'm going to divide both sides by 99. So you're going to get x equals 15 over 99. However, I can simplify this because the number 3 goes into both my 15 and the 99. So if I divide my top here and my bottom by 3, so your numerator, you're going to get 5, and then your denominator, you're going to get 33. So your final answer here is 5 over 33. And remember, you can always check your answer. When you divide 5 divided by 33, you're going to get 15 repeating. So now let's look at the shortcut way. So we have our 15 repeating. I have two digits that are being repeated. So remember, your denominator is going to be 99. And then you just put the number that is being repeated is going to be on the top in the numerator. So you just have your 15 over 99 here. And then we're going to simplify like we did on the other side. So my numerator is going to be 5. And then your denominator here is going to be 33. So your final answer here as well is 5 over 33. So let's look at this example. Let's say we had 2.1 repeating. This is going to equal 2.1111. Then we go all the way down. I'm going to let x equal my 2.1. So 2.1 repeating. Since I only have one digit that's being repeated, I'm going to multiply both sides of my equation by the number 10. So this is going to be 10 here and then 10 here. So 10 times x, this is going to be 10x. And then 2.111 times 10, repeating, this is just going to be 21.1111 repeating. All right, and these are the two equations that we are using. However, I'm going to rewrite my equation. So I'm going to put my 10x on top and then my x at the bottom. So x equals 2.1111. Now we're going to subtract 10 minus 1x. This is going to be 9x. And then 21 minus 2, because these are going to cancel out. So 21 minus 2 is going to be 19. So 9x equals 19. I'm going to divide both sides by 9. So your answer is going to be x equals 19 over 9. However, since this is an example of an improper fraction, we can go ahead and turn this into a mixed number. So I have my 9 here and my 19 here. 9 goes into 19 two times. 9 times 2 is 18. 19 minus 18 is 1. So if you turn it into a mixed number, you're going to get 2 and 1/9. So now let's look at the shortcut. So we have 2.1 repeating. I have only one digit that's being repeated, which is what we have here. So I know my denominator is going to be 9. And then the number that's being repeated is going to be on top, which is my numerator. And then I'm just going to bring my 2 down here, which is right next to my fraction. And this is going to be 2 and 1/9. And remember your decimal here, this is the same as 2 plus 0.11111 repeating. So my 1/9 is what we have here, and then my 2 is what we have here, which is what I brought down. Let's look at the next example. Let's say we had 2.7 that's being repeated. This is going to equal 2.777 all the way down. So I'm going to let x equals my 2.7777 repeating. Since I only have one digit that's being repeated, which is what we have here, I'm going to multiply both sides of my equation by the number 10. So my left side here, we have 10x, and then my right side, we have 27.7777 repeating. And then remember, these are the two equations here that we're using. However, I am going to rewrite my equation so I do not get any negative numbers. So I have 10x here equals 27.777 repeating. And then my x is going to be here. And then now we're going to subtract 10x minus x. This is going to be 9x. And then 27 minus 2. This is going to be 25 because the 7s here are going to cancel out. Now I'm going to divide both sides by 9. So we're going to get x equals 25 over 9. And since this is an improper fraction, let's go ahead and convert it into a mixed number. So 9 on the outside, 25 is on the inside. 9 goes into 25 2 times. 9 times 2 is 18. 25 minus 18, this is going to equal 7. So as a mixed number, you're going to get 2 and 7/9. So now let's try the shortcut. We have 2.7 repeating. I only have one digit that's being repeated. So I'm going to get 9 in my denominator. And the number that's being repeated is going to be in the numerator. And then I'm just going to bring my 2 down here. And this is going to be 2 and 7/9. So let's look at this example here. 3.72 repeating. This equals 3.7272 all the way down. I'm going to let x equal my 3.72 repeating. So this is going to be x equals 3.7272 all the way down. This time I have two digits that are being repeated. So I'm going to multiply both sides of my equation by 100. So this is going to be 100 here and then 100 here. So now we have 100 times x. This is going to be 100x. And then 3.7272 times 100. This is going to be 372.7272 repeating. Before I do anything, I'm going to rewrite my equation so that my 100x is on top. So I'm going to do 100x equals 372.7272 repeating, and then my x is going to be right under, so x equals 3.7272 repeating. Now we're going to subtract. So you have 100x minus your imaginary 1 here. X is going to be 99x. And then 372 minus 3, this is going to equal 369 because the 72s here are going to cancel out. Now I'm going to divide both sides by 99. So you're going to get x equals 369 over 99. However, I can simplify my 369 because the number 9 goes into both. So if I have my 369 here over 99, if I divide top and bottom by 9, your numerator, you're going to get 41, and then your denominator, you're going to get 11. However, this is an example of an improper fraction, so let's go ahead and turn it into a mixed number to see what we get. 11 goes into 41 3 times. 11 times 3 is 33. 41 minus 33 is going to equal 8. So if you write this as a mixed number, you're going to get 41 over 11 or 3 and 8 over 11. Now let's look at the shortcut way. So if I did 3.72 repeating, so I have two digits that's being repeated. So my denominator is going to be 99. And then the number that's being repeated is going to be up here in my numerator. And then I'm just going to bring my 3 down like we have here. However, I can simplify my 72 over 99 because the number 9 goes into both the 72 and the 99. So 72 divided by 9, this is going to be 8. And then 99 divided by 9, this is going to be 11. And then I'm just going to bring my 3 over like we have here. So this is also going to be 3 and 8 over 11. And remember, this is your improper fraction, and then this is your mixed number. So let's try 4.21 repeating. This equals 4.2121. It goes all the way down. I'm going to let x equal my 4.21 repeating. Since I have two digits that are being repeated, I'm going to multiply both sides of my equation by 100. So this is going to be 100 here, and then 100 here. 100 times x, this is going to be 100x. And then 4.2121 times 100, this is going to be 421.2121 repeating. So these are the two equations here that we are using. However, I'm going to rewrite my equation so that 100x is on top. So 100x equals 421.2121 repeating. And then x is going to be here. Now I'm going to subtract. So 100x minus x, this is going to be 99x. And then 421 minus 4, this is going to be 417. And then the 21s here are going to cancel out. So now I'm going to divide both sides by 99. So you're going to get x equals 417 over 99. Now I can simplify my 417 over 99 because the number 3 goes into both the numerator and denominator. So my numerator, we're going to get 139, and then my denominator, you're going to get 33. Since this is an example of an improper fraction, let's convert this into a mixed number. So 33 goes into 139 4 times. 33 times 4, this is going to be 132. 139 minus 132, this is going to equal 7. So as a mixed number, you're going to get 4 and 7 over 33. So now let's look at the shortcut way. So let's say we did 4.21 repeating. And since I have two digits that are being repeated, my fraction is going to be, in my denominator is going to be 99. And then the number that's being repeated is going to be up here in my numerator. And then I'm just going to bring my 4 down here as a whole number for my fraction. However, we can simplify. We can divide top and bottom here by 3. So your numerator, you're going to get 7. Denominator, you're going to get 33. And then your 4, you're just going to bring it over, which is what we have here. And this is your final answer. So let's say we had 3 digits that are being repeated. So let's say we have 5.321 repeated. This is going to be 5.321321, and it goes all the way down. I'm going to let x equal my 5.321 repeating. And since I have 3 digits that are being repeated, I'm going to multiply both sides of my equation by 1,000. So on the left side, you have 1,000x equals 5.321 repeating times 1,000. This is going to give us 5.321.321 repeated. Now, before I do anything, I'm going to rewrite my equation so that my 1,000x is on top. And then I'm going to add my repeating decimal minus my x. 1,000x minus 1x, this is going to give us 999x equals your 5321 minus 5. This is going to be 5316 because these numbers here are going to cancel out. Now I'm going to divide both sides by 999. So you're going to get x equals 5316 over 999. And you can simplify this. The number 3 goes into both the numerator and denominator. So let's go ahead and simplify. So your numerator, you're going to get 1772. And then your denominator, you're going to get 333. So let's go ahead and just convert this really quickly into a mixed number. 333 goes into 1772. It goes in 5 times. 333 times 5 is going to equal 1665. And when you subtract this, you're going to get 107. So if you turn this into a mixed number, you're going to get 5 and 107 over 333. So let's go ahead and try the shortcut way. 5.321 repeating. Since I have 3 digits that are being repeated, I'm going to put my number over 999. So I'm going to put 321 over 999. And then I'm just going to bring my 5 down here. However, I can simplify this because the number 3 goes into both numerator and denominator. My numerator, you're going to get 107. And then your denominator, you're going to get 333. And then I'm just going to bring my 5 over here. So your final answer is still the same as here. So let's look at a different type of example now. So let's say we had the number 1.83, and the only thing that was being repeated is just going to be the 3. So this is going to be 1.8333 repeating. Notice here that we do have a mixture problem because we have a terminating decimal and a repeating decimal. Now, you can still definitely do the same exact steps we've been doing. We're going to set up the equation. However, when you are doing the shortcut, you have to be very careful if you do decide to do the shortcut when you have a mixture problem. So I'm just going to put beware mixture problems. And I'll just put beware mixture as a note. All right, so now let's go back to the equation. So I'm going to let x equal my 1.8333 repeating. Since I only have 1 digit that's being repeated, I'm still going to multiply both sides of my equation by 10. So this is going to be 10x equals 18.3333 repeating. And I'm going to rewrite my equation so that my 10x is on top. So we have 10x equals 18.3 repeating. And then I'm going to add my x here. X equals 1.8333 repeating. Now we're going to subtract. So 10x minus x, this is going to equal 9x. And then 18.3 repeating minus 1.83 repeating. This is going to equal 16.5. Now I'm going to divide both sides by 9. So you're going to get x equals 16.5 over 9. However, you do want to get rid of this decimal here in your numerator. So I'm going to multiply top and bottom by 10 to get rid of this decimal in my numerator. So my numerator, you're going to get 165. And then my denominator now, you're going to get 90. And I can simplify this because the number 15 goes into both my numerator and denominator. So 165 divided by 15, this is going to be 11. And then 90 divided by 15, this is going to be 6. Since I have an improper fraction, let's go ahead and convert it really quickly into a mixed number. 6 goes into 11 one time. 6 times 1 is going to be 6. 11 minus 6 is going to equal 5. So as a mixed number, you're going to get 1 and 5, 6. Now, if you're going to do the shortcut way, so we are still going to get, since I only have 1 digit that's being repeated, which is just the 3 here, I'm still going to get 9 in my denominator. But it's not just going to be 9. You have to add a 0. It's going to be 90. Because I have to include this 8 here. So because remember, we have a repeating and a non-repeating decimal here in this example. So the number that's being repeated, you still do the fractions that we have here. But if you have any other numbers in front of that repeating number, then you have to add your 0 to count for that number. Now the next step here, now I'm going to subtract 83 minus 8. So 83 minus 8, this is going to give us 75. And this is what I'm going to put here in my numerator. And then I'm just going to bring my 1 down, which is what we have here. However, I can simplify my 75 over 90 because the number 15 goes into both. So we have 15 here. So your numerator, you're going to get 5. And then your denominator, you're going to get 6. And then don't forget your 1 from your whole number, which is going to be the whole number here in your fraction. So notice you still get the same answer if you were to do the shortcut way. So let's look at this example. Let's say we had 0.083 repeating. So this equals 0.083333, and it goes all the way down. I'm going to let my x equals 0.08333 repeating. Since I have one digit that's being repeated, I'm going to multiply both sides of my equation by the number 10. So my left side here, we have 10x. And then here on my right side, this is just going to be 0.83333 repeating. Now we're going to rewrite our equation so that the 10x is on top. So 10x equals 0.83333 repeating. And then I'm going to add my x here at the bottom. So 10x minus 1x, this is going to be 9x. And when you subtract, you're going to get 0.75. I'm going to divide both sides by 9. So you're going to get x equals 0.75 over 9. However, I do want to go ahead and get rid of this decimal that's here in my numerator. So I'm going to multiply my top and bottom by 100 to get rid of this decimal. So I'm going to do top by 100 and then the bottom by 100. So your numerator is going to be 75 now, and then your denominator is going to be 900. However, I can simplify my answer because the number 75 goes into both the numerator and denominator. So my numerator is going to be 1, and then your denominator is going to be 12. So your final answer, you're going to get 1 over 12. Now let's go ahead and try the shortcut way. And remember, because this is a mixture problem, we're just going to tweak the process just a little bit. So since I only have one digit that's being repeated, I am still going to get a 9 in my answer. So I'm going to put 9 here. However, I have two other digits right in front of my repeating digit. So I have a terminating number here and a terminating number here. So this 0, I'm going to add my 0 here. And then this 8, I'm also going to add a 0 here in place of that 8. And then now we're going to subtract. So I'm going to subtract 83 minus 8. So we did 83 minus the number that's not being repeated. So 83 minus 8, this is going to equal 75. So I'm going to put 75 here in my numerator. Now we're going to go ahead and simplify our answer because the number 75 goes into both the 75 and the 900. In my numerator, we're going to get 1, and then your denominator here, you're just going to get 12. So your final answer here as well is going to be 1 over 12. So let's look at 4.152 with the 52 repeating. So we have 4.15252, and it goes all the way down. I'm going to let x equal my 4.152 repeating. And since I have two digits that are being repeated, I'm going to multiply both sides of my equation by 100. So my left side, we have 100x equals 4152525 repeating. Now we're going to rewrite this so that my 100 is on top here. Now we're going to subtract 100 minus 1x. This is going to be 99x. And then here on the right side, you're going to get 411.1. Now I'm going to divide both sides by 99. So you're going to get x equals 411.1 over 99. However, I do want to get rid of the decimal that's in my numerator. So this time I'm just going to multiply top and bottom by 10 to get rid of that decimal. So your numerator, you're going to get 4,111. And then your denominator, you're going to get 990. Since I have an improper fraction, let's go ahead and convert this to a mixed number. 990 goes into 4,111 four times. 990 times 4 is 3,960. When you subtract 4,111 minus 3,960, you're going to get 151. So if you convert into a mixed number, you're going to get 151 over 990. And this is your final answer here. Now let's go ahead and try the shortcut way. So 4.152 repeating. Since I have two digits that are being repeated, I am going to get 99 in my denominator. So I know 99 will definitely be somewhere in my denominator. However, I do have a number, my 1, that's in front of my repeating numbers. So I'm going to add a 0 to count for that 1. Now I'm going to subtract my 152 minus 1. So I did 152 minus the number that's not being repeated. So this is just going to be 151. So your numerator here is going to be 151. And then I'm going to bring my 4 down, which is what we have here. And this is your final answer here. Let's look at 1.256 repeating. I'm going to let x equal my 1.256 repeating. And since I have two digits that are being repeated, I'm going to multiply both sides of my equation by 100. So my left side here, we have 100x equals 125.6565 repeating. And I'm going to rewrite my equation so that my 100x is on top. So we have 100x here equals 125.6565 repeating. And then my x is going to be here at the bottom. So we have 1.25 repeating. Now we're going to subtract. So my left side here, you're going to get 99x. And then on your right side here, when you subtract, you're going to get 124.4. Now I'm going to divide both sides of my equation by 99. So you're going to get x equals 124.4 over 99. However, to get rid of that decimal that's in your numerator, I'm going to multiply top and bottom by 10 because I want to get rid of this decimal that's here in my numerator. So we're going to get 1,244 in my numerator, and then your denominator, you're going to get 990. And I can simplify this because the number 2 goes into both the numerator and denominator. So my numerator, you're going to get 622, and then your denominator, you're going to get 495. Since this is an example of an improper fraction, let's go ahead and convert it into a mixed number. 495 goes into 622. It goes in one time. 495 times 1 is going to be 495. 622 minus 495, this is going to equal 127. So as a mixed number, you're going to get 127 over 495. So now let's look at the shortcut way. So 1.256 repeating. So since I have two digits that are being repeated, I am going to get 99 in my answer. However, I do need to add a 0 because I have a 2 here right in front of my repeating digits. So I'm going to add a 0 here for 990. And then I'm going to subtract. So we have 256 minus 2. This is going to be 254. So your numerator, you're going to get 254. And then you're going to bring this 1 down, which is what we have here. However, we can simplify this 254 because the number 2 goes into both the numerator and denominator. So my numerator, you're going to get 127, and then your denominator, you're going to get 495. And then don't forget to bring your 1 over because this is the whole number we have here. And this is your final answer. Let's look at this example here, 3.902 with just the 2 repeating. So this is going to equal 3.90222, and it goes all the way down. I'm going to let x equal my 3.902 repeating. Since I only have one digit that's being repeated, I'm going to multiply both sides of my equation by 10. So this is going to be 10x equals 39.02222 repeating. I'm going to rewrite my equation so that my 10x is on top. So we have 10x, and then x equals 3.90222 repeated. Now we're going to subtract. So 10 minus x, this is going to be 9x. And then on your right side of the equation, you're going to get 35.12. Now we're going to divide both sides by 9. So you're going to get x equals 35.12 over 9. And to get rid of that decimal here in my numerator, I'm going to multiply top and bottom by 100. So your numerator, you're going to get 3,512. And then your denominator, you're going to get 900. However, I can simplify this fraction because the number 4 goes into both the numerator and denominator. So your numerator, you're going to get 878, and that's going to be over 225. All right, since this is an example of an improper fraction, because the number on top is larger than the number at the bottom. So let's go ahead and turn it into a mixed number. So 225 goes into 878 3 times. 225 times 3 is going to be 675. When I subtract both of these, I'm going to get 203. And this is your answer here. Now, let's say if we did the shortcut way, so 3.902 repeating, since I only have one digit that's being repeated, I am going to get a 9 in my denominator. However, I do have other digits in front of my repeating number. We have a 9 here and another 0 here. So I'm going to add a 0 for the 9 and a 0 for the 0. Now we're going to subtract 902 minus 90. This is going to give us 812 in my numerator. And then I'm just going to bring my 3 down, which is what we have here. However, I can simplify my answer because the number 4 goes into both the numerator and denominator. So 812 divided by 4, this is going to be 203. And then 900 divided by 4, this is going to be 225. And don't forget to bring your 3 down, which is what we have here. And this is your final answer, just like we have here. All right, so that is all for today. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.